Hello students, welcome to our history session. In this session, we will discuss about the Vedic age and Vedic age, basically the life of the Aryans and the literature written by the Aryans. So in previous class, we discussed about the prehistoric period as well as we also discussed Indus Valley civilization, a civilization which was established around the Indus Valley River. Around 1750 BC, Indus Valley civilization was destroyed, and on the same place, some people are starting or start to do living, and this is they established their civilization known as Vedic civilization. So let's start the topic known as Vedic civilization, which was started around 1500 BC to 600 BC. Basically, this is the location of India. Let's suppose this is India. If I draw, this is present location of Punjab and Pakistan. This was the location when we found Indus Valley civilization, which was ended in around 1750 BC. After the decline of Indus Valley civilization, some people are again started to reallocate to this location, and they established their civilization to that particular location, and these peoples are known as Aryans. So let's discuss about the origin of Aryans. Who were they? Why they established at that particular location, which faced basically a major or crucial basically role to establish two major civilization: Indus Valley civilization and Vedic civilization. So, according to the Max Muller, who was Max Muller? Max Muller was a German philologist who proposed the migration theory of Aryans. Max Muller said that around 1500 BC, some people from Central Asia and Russia came to India, and these people are known as Aryans. So, according to the theory of Max Muller, Aryan belongs to Central Asia and Russia. Okay, Max Muller also said Aryans speak Sanskrit and English, and at that time, the language of the European countries like Central Asia and Russia are similar to Sanskrit. That's why the similarity theory of language, Max Muller said that Aryans belongs to Central Asia and Russia. So origin of Aryans according to Max Muller. Max Muller, a 19th century German philologist and Orientalist, proposed the Aryan migration theory suggests that the Aryans migrate into the India subcontinent from Central Asia and Russia around 1500 BC. Okay, he based this theory on the linguistic evidence. What are linguistic evidence? According to the Max Muller, Aryans basically do used to speak Sanskrit, and that time the Sanskrit was also spoken to the European country. So he said Aryan speaks Sanskrit, and at that time Sanskrit was spoken in Central Asia and Russia. That's why, on the basis of language similarity, we found that Aryans belong to Central Asia and Russia. What were the major reason that they came to India only or that particular location? Basically, Aryans was semi-nomadic. The main occupation of Aryans was agriculture, and they used to do shifting agriculture. Shifting agriculture means they did agriculture at particular place. After some time, they moved to another location for agriculture, and so on, so on. So basically, Aryan are were semi-nomadic, and they used to do shifting agriculture. When they came to this location was very fertile location. For agriculture, the fertility and water was much required at that time. The major component was the soil fertility power and the water capacity. So this location was very fertile because seven rivers were flown around this location, and this location was also known as Sapta Sindhu. So that's why Aryan moved to this location. So Aryan was nomadic, and they used to do shifting agriculture. They were nomadic and used to do shifting agriculture. So they moved to India for agriculture, and the place they shifted is known as Sapta Sindhu. Very important. In which place Aryan was staying or shifted? The place was known as Sapta Sindhu, the present day of Pakistan and Punjab region. Why this particular location is known as Sapta Sindhu? Because seven rivers were flown there. And due to maybe Aryan attracted by the water capacity of this location or the fertility power of this location, that's why they shifted to this particular location only. Clear? Okay. What were the seven major rivers according to Vedas? Seven river in Vedic age with their name was, the first was Sindhu, as also mentioned in the Indus Valley civilization. The second river was Saraswati, which is at present dried up now. Maybe Ghaggar and Hakara river were the tributary of Saraswati river. Okay, we divided Aryans. First, you have to understand that we divided Aryans phase into two types. The early Aryan, yeah, early Vedic phase, the later Vedic phase. We have discussed this. Aryan came to India around 1500 BC and declined by 600 BC. So this 900 years is divided into two parts. The early phase, when Aryans came to India around 1500 BC to 1000 BC, and second phase is 1000 BC to 600 BC. So the river mentioned in Vedic literature include, in early phase there are also seven rivers, and later phase there are also seven rivers, but river are different. If I am talking about the later phase, these are the major seven rivers. First is Sindhu. The present day it's known as Indus. Second was Saraswati. The third was Ganga. The fourth was Yamuna. The fifth was Sutluj, which were known as Satudari. The sixth was Vyas, known as Vipasha, and the Ravi, known as Purushni. This was the later phase Vedic rivers in during the time of Aryans. And what were the early major rivers or early seven rivers? Ganga replaced to Chenab, and Jamuna replaced to Jhelum. And the name of Chenas was Askini, and Jhelum was Vitasta. So do not confuse. In early Vedic period, Ganga and Yamuna replaced by Chenab and Jhelum. Chenab was known as Askini and Jhelum was known as Vitasta. But in later phase, the Chenab and Jhelum were replaced by Ganga and Yamuna. Replaced mean the major river basically we are talking about. So these are the seven Vedic rivers during the time of Arya. Next, we will discuss about the life of the Aryans, how they used to live in India, what are the major basically economical life of the Aryans, what are the political life of the Aryans, how was the Aryan society, what religious practice did Aryan do, and all the information related to their life. So first, if we are discussing about the life of the Aryans were primarily postal and agriculture people. Means they were nomadic, but they were semi-nomadic. What is the difference between nomadic and semi-nomadic? In semi-nomadic, they used to do postal, means the domestication of animal and agriculture. So the economy of Aryans were depended on the postal domestication of animal as well as agriculture also. So they lived in semi-nomadic tribe moving with their herds of cattle. Their society was patriarchal, not matriarchal society, with a strong emphasis on the family and clan ties. So Aryan society was patriarchal. They were semi-nomadic, means they used to do postal domestication of animals as well as agriculture also. Next, what was the economical life of Aryans? Mean Aryans, what was the major source of income for Aryans? First, they were primarily agrarian, means depend on agriculture, but also they used to domesticate cattle. Wheat and rice was major crops during Vedic age. Let's compare the economical life of Aryans to the Indus Valley civilization people. In Indus Valley civilization, we discussed that the people of Indus Valley civilization was depend on wheat and barley. But when history shifted towards Aryans, then Aryans were depend on wheat and rice. So during Indus Valley civilization, wheat, and during Aryans, wheat were the common crop, but rice is replaced by barley. They used to produce barley also, pulses also, but main crop was wheat and rice. So main crop was wheat and rice. Agriculture include cultivation of crops like barley, wheat, and pulses. Okay, trade existed mainly in the form of the barter system. Indus Valley civilization, we uh, basically when we discuss about Indus Valley civilization, they totally depend on barter system because we are unable to find any currency. But in Vedic age, during the time of Aryans, the Rig Veda said Aryans used gold system also. They used to do barter system. Barter system means exchange of goods and things, but they also use gold coins for vast trade. So we can say for small trades, Aryan used to do barter system, and if there is any vast trade, they used to do gold coins. Okay. Also, we can also said that, or we can also say that during the early phase, Aryans totally depend on barter system, but when they shifted to the later phase, when they completely established in India, they also used gold coins. So there are two statements regarding the currency of Aryans. First statement says for a small trade they use barter system, and for vast trade they use gold coins. And second statement says in early phase Aryan used barter system, and in later phase they used gold coins. Clear? Okay. Next, how was the political life of Aryans? So let's compare Aryans' political life to today's political life. It will be the easy method to understand. I am in 21st century. The basic unit of today's political life is family. Basically, the society is started with family. The lowest basically structure is family. When a group of family made this called village, so the basic unit is family, then family is made village, the group of village is known as blocks. So families made village, village made blocks, blocks, group of blocks made district, district made state, and state made country. So this is the today's political life of India. The basic unit is family, like we started our polity through family. Then family made village, village made blocks, block made district, district made state, state made country. So the Aryans' political life was same as today's political life, but with slightly difference. So political organization was tribal with the tribe. The tribe was known as Jan, being the primary unit. Mean that what was the primary unit during the time of Aryans' political life? The Jana, the tribe, was being the primary unit. Tribe were led by the chief or king. King was known as Rajas, who often function more as a military leader. So the primary unit was tribe, which were known as Jan according to the Rig Veda. Tribe were led by chief or king. So who was the leader of the tribe? The king. King was also the military head and arbitrator. What are arbitrator? Basically a mediator to resolve disputes between two or more than two organizations. So clear? Political unit. Okay. Now the basic unit was family or kul. Like same, the family were also known as kul, and the head person of the family was known as kulapa. As we discussed that there were There was a patriarchal society in Vedic age or during the Vedas, and the head of family was known as Kulapa. The basic unit was family. Family was also known as Kul, and the head of family was known as Kulapa. Kul divided into grams, or we can say Kul, the group of Kul made grams. When a group of family made, then this is called as gram, and gram was headed by the Gramini, and the head of the gram was Gramini. The group of grams made Vishu, and the Vishu was led by Vishupati. So this was the political unit, and the Vishu made kingdom, and the head of kingdom was known as king, and this was the end of the political unit of Aryans. So basically, the basic unit was family or kul. The head of the family was known as Kulapa. Kul divided into grams, and gram was headed by the Gramini. The gram made Vishus, and Vishu was headed by the Vishupati, or the head of Vishu was known as Vishupati. And finally, the group of Vishu or Vishu made kingdom, and the head of kingdom was known as king. Also, in some section or mandal of Rig Veda, it was explained that the king was known as Gop also. So, king was known as Raja as well as Gop also. So, Gop was the head of the political unit during the time of Vedic age. Clear? Okay, now religious life. Let's also compare the religious life of the Aryans with the religious life of Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so basically, when we discussed about the religious life of Indus Valley civilization, they totally depend on idol worship. We also found some idol like Pashupati Mahadev and Maitri Devi. But Aryans was opposite to the Indus Valley civilization people. They used to worship nature. They do not believe in idol worship. So religion play a central role in Aryan society with ritual and sacrifice being significant. They majorly worship of nature. What are included in the worship of nature? They used to do worship of Indra, and they worship Indra as a god of thunder and war. They used to worship Agni, the god of fire, also the lord of strength. They used to worship Varuna, the god of water and the god of law. So they used to worship nature, and Indus Valley civilization people was worship idol worship, or idol worship was performed by the Indus Valley civilization people. So this is a slightly different between the religious life of Indus Valley civilization and Aryan. Okay, Aryans also perform yajnas, which were known as sacrifice to appease the god and ensure prosperity. So they perform yajnas to appease the god and ensure the prosperity. Clear? Next is social life of Aryans. Socially, they were very modern. Only polygamy was allowed. There were no child marriage. Every person has to follow 16 samskaras. Also, no sati pratha. Monogamy was allowed only. There were in early phase there were no caste system, only varna system were during the time of Aryans. First, you have to understand the difference between varnas and caste system. If I am talking about varna and I am talking about caste system, what are the major difference? What is the definition? Varnas means the division of class on the basis of work. What is the simple difference between varnas and caste system is the division of classes on the basis of their work or occupation. If a person is priest, then he will known as Brahman. If the son of Brahman is warrior and ruler, is known as Kshatriya. If the son of Kshatriya is farmer, then he will known as Vaishya. If the son of Vaishya is servant, then he will known as Shudras. So classes were divided on the basis of work, not the basis of heredity. But in caste system, the son of Brahman were also known as Brahman. The son of Kshatriya is always Kshatriya. The son of Vaishya is always Vaishya. And son of Shudra is always Shudra. So when the class is divided hereditary, then this is known as caste system. So this is the slightly different between Varnas and the caste system. What is Varna? When the class is divided on the basis of work or on the basis of occupation. And what is caste system? When class is divided hereditary. So during the time of Aryans, there were four Varnas. Okay, these Varnas are explained in Rig Vedas, the 10th mandal of Rig Veda. Okay, the next session we will also discuss about the Rig Veda, but to understand this, you have to understand the 10th mandal of Rig Veda. The 10th mandal of Rig Veda explain about Purushukta, and in Purushukta, the four Varnas are explained. So during the time of Aryans, there was the first Varna known as Brahmin. A person who is priest and scholar is known as Brahman. Also, Rig Veda's 10th Mandal said the Aryans, or according to the Rig Vedas or Aryans, the Brahman was born from the mouth of Lord Brahma. The origin of Brahmans came from the mouth of Lord Brahma. The second Varna was Kshatriya, the warrior and the ruler, and they came out from the arms of Lord Brahma. The third Varna was Vaishya, the farmer, trader, and merchant. They came from the thighs of Lord Brahma. And the fourth Varna was Shudra, the servant and labor, who came from the feet of Lord Brahma. So what were the four major Varnas during the time of Aryans? The Brahmans, who came from the mouth of Lord Brahma, the Kshatriyas, who born from the arms of Lord Brahma, the Vaishyas, who born from the thighs of Lord Brahma, and Shudras, who born from the feet of Lord Brahma. But the Varna system was only the early Vedic phase. When Aryan shifted to the later Vedic phase, the Varna system divided into caste system. Clear? The concept of Varna later elaborated into the caste system. Means in early phase there was Varna system, and in later phase they converted Varna system into caste system. In Brahmans, the caste basically when they obtain heredity. Also, monogamy was allowed, only a single marriage was allowed. Polygamy allowed for royal class, more than one marriage will be done by only royal family. There was no sati pratha, there was no child marriage during the time of Aryans. And also widow marriage was allowed during the time of Aryans. Clear? Next was another political unit known as Sabha and Samiti. What was Sabha and Samiti? Okay. So first, the Sabha and Samiti are explained in Rig Veda, and Rig Veda said there are basically in Rig Veda, the Sabha was mentioned in 8 times and Samiti was mentioned in 9 times. So how many times Sabha and Samiti mentioned in the Rig Veda? Sabha for 8 times and Samiti was 9 times. Rig Veda said Sabha and Samiti was the daughter of Prajapati. Basically, what is Sabha and Samiti? Simply, these are the committees of the people. We can say these are the two type of panchayat with different work. A group of people's collection was known as Sabha and Samiti. Why Rigveda said that these are the daughter of Prajapati? Okay. Prajapati was the political head during the time of Aryans. Political head, administrative head or political head means a person who handle the whole administration and polity of the empire. And Sabha and Samiti help this person to control administration. How? So let's understand what is Sabha and what is Samiti. After that, you will be clear that why they said to be the daughter of Prajapati. Sabha and Samiti were two important institutions, or we can say panchayats, during the time of early Vedic polity. Sabha was the council of elders. Sabha was a group of elders, often including respected members of the community. Sabha also included the respected members of the community, which advised the king. The main purpose of the Sabha was to advise the king and also he provide the justice to the people. So Sabha was a council of elders, people including respected members of the community, and the king was the head of the Sabha. Also, women can participate in Sabha, and the women who participated in Sabha was known as Sabhavati. What was the main purpose? Why this council was established? To provide justice. The Sabha worked as a judiciary during the time of Aryan. Samiti was an assembly of entire tribes where important decisions were made through decisions, and its main function was to elect king. Okay, first the Samitis was the group of entire tribes basically, and the main function was to elect a king. Sabha used to work as a justice or as a judiciary, and Samiti used to work, or the Samiti is the organization. The main function of Samitis was to elect king. Means during the early Vedic period, the people elect their king. The king was not hereditary. That's why Samiti was established. But in the later period, the king became hereditary. That's why in later phase the Samiti was dismissed. Clear? So Samiti was the part of early Vedic period, not the later Vedic period, because Samiti's work was to elect king, and Samiti was dismissed in later Vedic period due to the king became hereditary. Clear? So let's quick revise the session. In this session, we discuss the Vedic age. Vedic age means the life of the Aryans. The Aryans came in India around 1500 BC and they end up around 600 BC. Max Muller said the Aryans came from Central Asia and Russia on the basis of linguistic evidence. Also, they used to do shifting agriculture, and the place where Aryan shifted in India known as Sapt Sindhu because seven major rivers were flown during the Vedic age. What were the seven major rivers? The Sindhu, Saraswati, Ganga, Yamuna, Susudri, Vipasha, and Purushni of later Vedic phase, and Ganga Yamuna replaced by Chenab and Jhelum in early Vedic phase. Life of Aryans, they were semi-nomadic, used to do postal and domestic. Postal means domestication of animal as well as the agriculture, and the major crop was wheat and rice. Also, they produced barley and pulses, but they were not the major crops. Political life, the primary unit was Jana tribe. The head of the tribe was Raja. The basic unit was family or Kul. The head of family was known as Kulapa. Kul makes Gram, Grams makes Vishu, and Vishu makes kingdom, and the head of kingdom was king. Religious life, they totally worship of nature. The major nature god were Indra, Agni, Varuna, and Sun. Social life, Varna system during early Vedic period and caste system during later Vedic period. There were four Varnas according to the Rig Veda's 10th Mandal Purushukta. Monogamy was allowed, only a single married allowed during the time of Aryans. Polygamy allowed for royal class, no sati pratha, no child marriage, and no widow marriage. Sabha and Samiti, the two panchayat, two political units. Sabha used to work as justice, and Samiti main function was to elect king. They help Prajapati, the head of the administration. That's why Sabha and Samiti were known as daughter of Prajapati. But in later period, Samiti was dismissed because the king became hereditary. Clear? Okay. So I hope you understand this session. The next session we will discuss about the Vedic literature and the major animals in next session.